Welcome back to our channel. Coin collectors and treasure hunters, today, we are exploring some of the most exciting rare coin alerts of 2026, featuring the famous Roosevelt Dimes and Lincoln Pennies. From the United States, these small everyday coins can sometimes hide incredible value, and collectors across the world are discovering coins worth thousands and even millions of dollars in today's market. Many people spend these coins without realizing that certain rare dates, mint marks, and unique minting errors can transform a simple coin into a valuable collectible. In this video, we will reveal why some Roosevelt Dimes and Lincoln Pennies are attracting huge attention in 2026 and how collectors determine their market value. We will also explore historical background, unique design features, and the rare varieties that can turn ordinary pocket change into a collector's dream. So before you spend your coins, make sure you watch this video until the end, because the next Roosevelt Dime or Lincoln Penny you find could be worth a surprising amount of money in the modern coin market. Let's get started. First up, the 1979 Roosevelt Dime coin with D mint mark is a small silver-colored coin from the United States that represents 10 cents, and it carries the portrait of the respected American President Franklin D Roosevelt, and this coin became part of American pocket change during a time when millions of coins were produced. Yet collectors today still search for perfect uncirculated examples, because coins that remain untouched by circulation can sometimes achieve impressive market prices in the modern collector's market. The history of the Roosevelt Dime began in the year 1946, when the United States Mint decided to honor the legacy of President Franklin D Roosevelt after his leadership during the Great Depression and the Second World War, and the coin replaced the earlier Mercury dime design, and since that moment the Roosevelt design has remained one of the longest-running designs in American coinage history. The 1979 dime with the D mint mark was produced at the famous United States Mint facility in Denver, which is known among collectors as the Denver Mint, and the letter D on the coin indicates that specific location. And during the year 1979, hundreds of millions of these coins were produced to meet the needs of everyday commerce across the United States. The design of the coin is simple yet meaningful, because the front side shows the calm profile of Franklin D Roosevelt, while the reverse side displays a torch that symbolizes liberty and knowledge, and beside the torch appear an olive branch and an oak branch, which represent peace and strength, and together these elements create a design that collectors instantly recognize. Although the majority of 1979 D Roosevelt dimes are very common coins that trade only for small amounts close to their face value, collectors still search carefully for pieces that survived in uncirculated condition, because coins that never entered circulation keep their bright mint luster and sharp details, which greatly increases their appeal among serious coin collectors. An uncirculated 1979 D Roosevelt dime can sometimes reach market prices ranging from about $3 to $20, depending on the quality and grading, and in rare situations where the coin receives a very high grade from professional grading services, such as MS-67 or higher, the price may rise much further in auctions, where collectors compete for the finest known examples. One reason collectors value certain coins from the 1970s is the possibility of strong mint luster, perfect surfaces, and sometimes minor minting varieties that can make a specific coin more interesting than the average circulation piece. And this is why collectors often examine coins closely under light to search for exceptional quality examples. The metal composition of the 1979 Roosevelt dime is a copper-nickel clad structure that replaced earlier silver coinage in 1965, and this composition contains an inner copper core with outer layers of nickel alloy, which gives the coin its bright silver appearance, even though it no longer contains precious silver. For many collectors, the excitement of searching for coins like the 1979 D Roosevelt dime comes from the possibility that an ordinary-looking coin could actually be a well-preserved, uncirculated example that has remained hidden in coin rolls, old collections, or forgotten jars for decades, waiting to be discovered. Today, the 1979 Roosevelt dime with D mint mark remains a fascinating piece of modern American coin history, and while most examples carry modest value, the finest uncirculated coins continue to attract attention in the collector market, where rare high-grade examples can sell for impressive amounts in dollars when demand rises among passionate coin enthusiasts. Next up, the Roosevelt Dime 1998 with P mint mark is a small American coin that represents the history of modern United States coinage and the honor given to President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. And this coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which uses the letter P to identify its production, and many collectors search through pocket change, hoping to discover a rare piece that could carry a higher market value today in dollars. The Roosevelt Dime series first began in the year 1946, shortly after the passing of President Franklin D Roosevelt, who was admired for his leadership during the Great Depression and the Second World War, and the United States government decided to place his portrait on the 10-cent coin as a tribute to his support for the March of Dimes campaign, which helped fight the disease polio. The design of the Roosevelt Dime shows the strong profile portrait of President Roosevelt on the front side of the coin, and the reverse side displays a torch which symbolizes liberty and peace, while an olive branch and an oak branch appear beside the torch representing strength, independence, and national unity, which makes this coin simple but meaningful in its artistic design. The 1998 Roosevelt Dime with P-Mint mark was struck in large numbers at the Philadelphia Mint, and millions of these coins entered circulation across the United States, which means most examples found in everyday pocket change are common coins that normally carry a value close to 10 cents or a small premium, depending on their condition. However, collectors pay attention to condition and rare mint errors, and if a 1998 P Roosevelt Dime is found in high uncirculated grade, with strong shine and sharp details, the market value can rise to several dollars, and in very high certified mint state grades the coin can sometimes sell for $20, $50, or even higher, depending on collector demand. There are also rare varieties and mint errors that make certain 1998 P dimes more valuable, such as off-center strikes, double die details, or coins struck on the wrong metal planchet. And these unusual examples can attract collectors who are willing to pay hundreds or sometimes thousands of dollars for a truly rare error piece. The metal composition of the 1998 Roosevelt Dime is a modern clad structure made from copper and nickel, which replaced the earlier silver dimes that were produced before the year 1965, and this change was made because the rising value of silver made silver coins too expensive for regular circulation in the United States economy. When collectors search through coin rolls or old collections, they examine details such as mint luster surface marks and the clarity of Roosevelt face, because a well-preserved coin with minimal wear can become desirable among coin enthusiasts, and grading services often assign mint state numbers that influence the final market value in dollars. Today, the normal market value of a circulated 1998 P Roosevelt Dime in good condition is usually between 10 cents and $1, depending on appearance, but a bright uncirculated coin might sell for several dollars, while rare certified examples in very high grade could reach prices of $100 or more in specialized coin auctions. The story of the 1998 Roosevelt Dime reminds collectors that even common coins can carry historical meaning and hidden value, because every small coin reflects the legacy of President Roosevelt, the history of American minting, and the excitement of searching for rare treasures that might still be waiting quietly in everyday pocket change today. Next up, the Lincoln Memorial Cent from 1975 with the D Mint mark was produced at the United States Mint facility in Denver Mint, and this small copper coin carries the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln, which has appeared on the American 1-cent coin since 1909, when the nation celebrated the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, and the 1975 D Lincoln Memorial Penny became part of a long-running series that showed the Lincoln Memorial building on the reverse side as a symbol of national pride, history, and remembrance. The coin was struck in large numbers during the mid-1970s, when the United States economy was growing and everyday coins were needed for commerce. And because of this, millions of pieces were produced at the Denver Mint, yet collectors today still search carefully through old jars, coin rolls, and collections, hoping to discover examples that remain in better preserved condition or that show unique minting characteristics that make the coin more interesting to collectors and historians. In old circulated condition, the value of a 1975 D Lincoln Memorial Penny is usually modest because the coin was produced in very high quantity and many examples still exist. Yet collectors often pay around $0.02 to $0.50, depending on the level of wear, surface color, and overall appearance, while brighter coins that survived with stronger detail may bring $1 to $3, and extremely well-preserved examples graded at high mint state levels can sometimes reach $10 or more in specialized collector markets. The design on the front of the coin shows the calm and thoughtful portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing to the right, and around the portrait appear the inscriptions "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the year 1975, while the small letter D below the year represents the Denver Mint, and on the back the famous Lincoln Memorial Building stands proudly with the words United States of America and 1 cent along with the national motto E Pluribus Unum, which reflects the unity of the American states. One interesting detail that many collectors enjoy about the Lincoln Memorial reverse design is that inside the tiny image of the memorial building, the statue of Abraham Lincoln can actually be seen seated between the columns, which makes the design special because Lincoln appears on both sides of the coin, a small artistic feature that has fascinated coin collectors for decades and helped make the Lincoln Memorial penny one of the most recognized coins in the United States. During the 1970s, the United States Mint used a bronze alloy mixture that contained mostly copper along with small amounts of tin and zinc, and this gave the coins their warm reddish-brown appearance when new. But after years of circulation, many pieces darkened and developed the classic brown color that collectors call circulated copper, and this natural aging process is often seen on older coins that have traveled through countless hands during daily transactions. Although the 1975 D penny is not considered extremely rare, the series still attracts collectors who enjoy searching for varieties, such as doubled letters, die cracks, off-center strikes, or other mint errors that sometimes appear during the coin production process. And these unusual pieces can be far more valuable than ordinary coins, which is why collectors carefully inspect each penny they find. The history behind the Lincoln Cent series reflects an important chapter in American numismatic culture because it was the first regular circulating United States coin to feature the portrait of a real historical figure. And over the years, the design became a lasting tribute to Abraham Lincoln leadership and legacy, while the Lincoln Memorial reverse remained in production from 1959 until 2008, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in American history. Collectors today still enjoy the thrill of discovering older Lincoln Memorial pennies, like the 1975 D example, because even though many pieces are common, each coin carries a small piece of history from the time when it was minted and circulated through stores, markets, and everyday purchases across the United States, creating a quiet journey that connects the past with the present. For coin collectors and beginners alike, the 1975 D Lincoln Memorial penny remains an accessible entry point into the world of coin collecting, because it is easy to find, affordable to acquire, and full of historical meaning. And while most examples are worth only a small amount, the excitement of searching for a higher grade piece or a rare mint error keeps the interest alive for collectors who continue exploring the fascinating story of American 1-cent coins. Next up, the story of the 1940 Lincoln wheat penny begins with the enduring legacy of the famous American President Abraham Lincoln, whose image appears on the front of the coin, and whose life symbolized unity, perseverance, and freedom. And this 1-cent coin became a small but powerful piece of history that connected everyday people with the ideals of a nation. And in the year 1940, the United States Mint produced millions of these coins as part of the continuing Lincoln wheat series, which had already become one of the most recognizable coins in American history, and today collectors and historians still admire the design and the legacy behind this humble copper coin. The design of the Lincoln wheat penny was created by the talented sculptor Victor David Brenner, who introduced the portrait of Abraham Lincoln in 1909, and this marked the first time in American coin history that a real historical figure appeared on a circulating coin. And by the time the year 1940 arrived, the design had already become a symbol of American identity, with the simple but elegant portrait of Lincoln on the front and 2 wheat ears on the reverse, representing prosperity, growth, and the strength of the nation. The 1940 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark was struck at the famous Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally produced coins without a mint mark, and this particular issue had a large mintage because the country was moving through an important historical era as the world was entering the period of the World War II. And although the United States had not yet officially entered the war, the economy and industry were already beginning to change, and these small copper coins circulated through stores, markets, farms, and cities, becoming part of daily life for millions of Americans. In uncirculated condition, the 1940 Lincoln wheat penny is especially attractive to collectors because it retains the original luster-sharp details and the rich reddish copper color that the coin had when it first left the mint. And unlike coins that circulated for decades, these pristine examples were preserved carefully by collectors or stored away in rolls and albums, which allowed them to survive many decades in beautiful condition. And today these pieces represent a time capsule of American numismatic history. Collectors often study the fine details of the coin, including the smooth profile of Abraham Lincoln, the sharp lettering of the word liberty, the clear date 1940, and the beautiful wheat ears on the reverse that frame the words 1 cent and United States of America, and the phrase "In God We Trust," which appears above the portrait. And every detail tells the story of craftsmanship and artistry that defined American coinage during the early 20th century. Although millions of these coins were produced, the value of a 1940 Lincoln wheat penny can vary greatly depending on its condition and preservation, and while circulated examples may only be worth a small amount, a fully uncirculated example with strong red color and flawless surfaces can attract much higher attention in the collector's market, where enthusiasts appreciate originality, rarity, and historical importance. In today's collector market, a typical 1940 Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark in uncirculated condition may range roughly from about $5 to around $50, depending on quality, grade, and color designation, while exceptionally preserved specimens graded by professional services can sometimes sell for even higher prices, especially when the coin displays full red luster and almost perfect surfaces that have survived for more than 80 years. Beyond the monetary value, the coin also carries a strong historical meaning because it represents a moment in time when the United States was on the edge of dramatic global change, and every coin produced in 1940 silently witnessed the years leading up to major events that would reshape the world, and these pennies traveled through the hands of workers, farmers, soldiers, and families, becoming part of everyday commerce and personal stories. For coin collectors and history enthusiasts, the 1940 Lincoln wheat penny remains a fascinating collectible because it combines artistic design, historical connection, and the thrill of discovering a small piece of the past that may still exist in remarkable condition, and many collectors continue searching old jars, coin rolls, and inherited collections, hoping to find an uncirculated example that still shines with its original mint brilliance. So when you look closely at a 1940 Lincoln wheat penny, you are not simply seeing a 1-cent coin, but a preserved fragment of American heritage, a tribute to Abraham Lincoln, a product of the United States Mint, and a reminder that even the smallest coin can hold a powerful story that travels through generations and continues to capture the imagination of collectors around the world today. Next up, the story of the Lincoln wheat penny from the year 1947, without mint mark, begins with a powerful journey through American coin history and the legacy of President Abraham Lincoln, and this famous 1-cent coin was produced at the historic United States Mint in Philadelphia, which explains why the coin shows no mint mark, and collectors around the world admire this small copper coin because it represents a time when America was rebuilding after war and moving into a new peaceful era, and today this coin has become a favorite subject for coin collectors and history lovers who search old collections, hoping to discover a valuable hidden treasure. The design of the 1947 Lincoln wheat penny carries a beautiful portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front side, which was created by the talented sculptor Victor David Brenner, and the reverse side proudly shows 2 elegant wheat stalks, which symbolize growth, prosperity, and the strength of the nation, and these wheat ears frame the words 1 cent and United States of America, creating one of the most recognizable coin designs in American history, and this design remained in circulation for nearly 50 years, making the wheat penny series one of the longest-running coin designs ever produced. During the year 1947, millions of these pennies were struck by the Philadelphia Mint, and because the coin was produced in very large numbers, most examples were used in everyday trade in market shops and small businesses across the country. And because of this heavy circulation, many coins became worn, scratched, or discolored, which makes well-preserved pieces especially attractive to collectors who search for coins that survived decades of use, while still maintaining clear details and sharp wheat lines on the reverse design. A 1947 Lincoln wheat penny, without mint mark, that survives today in fine condition, still displays visible lines in the wheat ears and clear lettering around the coin, and although fine condition means the coin has experienced circulation, it still keeps enough detail to show its classic design, and collectors appreciate such pieces because they show authentic history while remaining collectible examples of mid-20th century American currency. The typical market value of a normal 1947 Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark in fine condition is usually modest, and in most coin markets the value may range from about $1 to around $5, depending on the strength of the details and the color of the copper surface. And while this value is small compared with rare coins, it still attracts beginners who want affordable historic coins for their collections. However, the story becomes more exciting when collectors talk about exceptional examples of the same coin, because a 1947 penny, in brilliant uncirculated condition with strong red copper color, can sometimes sell for $20, $50, or even more in collector markets, and if a rare minting error, such as an off-center strike or double design, appears on the coin, the value can climb dramatically, and serious collectors may compete strongly to obtain such unusual pieces. The historical background of the 1947 Lincoln wheat penny is deeply connected to the period after the end of the World War II, when the United States economy began expanding and people returned to normal life, and coins like the penny were used daily for small purchases, newspapers, candy, and public transportation, which means each coin quietly witnessed thousands of ordinary moments in American life, and this historical connection gives the coin emotional value beyond its metal content. Another interesting aspect of the Wheat Penny series is how it reflects the development of American coin design, because before the Lincoln cent, most United States coins featured symbolic figures instead of real historical leaders, and when Abraham Lincoln appeared on the penny in 1909, it marked a major change in American numismatic tradition, and the design remained beloved by the public for decades, which explains why collectors today continue searching for wheat pennies from different years, including the 1947 issue. For collectors and treasure hunters, the excitement of the 1947 Lincoln wheat penny lies in the possibility that a simple-looking coin might still hide an unexpected rarity, and people often search old jars, family collections, antique stores, and flea markets, hoping to discover coins with rare die varieties, strong original color, or unusual minting mistakes, and sometimes these discoveries become valuable pieces that sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on rarity and condition. So when we look at the 1947 Lincoln wheat penny, without mint mark, we see much more than a simple copper coin, because it is a small piece of American history that connects collectors with the legacy of Abraham Lincoln, the craftsmanship of the United States Mint, and the everyday economic life of the late 1940s. And while most examples in fine condition are worth only a few dollars, the real treasure of this coin lies in its story, its heritage, and the excitement it continues to bring to collectors and history enthusiasts around the world who search for the next valuable discovery hidden within the Wheat Penny series. Thanks for watching.